And as soon as I held her and she opened her eyes, that's when I heard that voice. And I turn around, I hear the voice again as I'm turning around, and I was like, whoa, they're just trying to tell me what to do, how to run my life, and this and this and that. But this whole time, my mom is fighting demons, my sisters, everybody's fighting the demons that are holding me and keeping me from them. What a few words can do. Sometimes that's all it takes, is a few words.
Welcome back to another episode of the BTLfield podcast. I'm here today with my friend William, and he is going to share his journey through addiction with cocaine and pills. I know you said you were raised in the church, but it was the Catholic church.
The Morales on my mom's side, they're all Catholic. So growing up, we were in the Catholic church. So I did everything as far as the communion, being an altar boy, doing the mass, everything like that. So as I got older, I joined the military. So I still had that Catholic vibe, I guess, to me. And then later on, I found out that my parents switched to Christianity, along with the rest of my family. So I was like I was telling you, the lonely boat out in the ocean. Like, what about me?
Like, you know? What happened?
At that point, I started just sitting there thinking, is my life been a lie? Like, here I am taught this religion, and then you go to this religion. So it's like, what? I'm basically in a crossroad, like, what do I do? So that's when I began to start drifting away, and that was around the time that I got out the military. My daughter's mom ended up cheating on me during the time, so my depression became worse. So then now it's like, I don't have a religion, I don't have a family, so I completely drifted from God, and I began to start doing cocaine to just numb the pain, and was washing it down with pills. And that just became a normal routine for me for a very long time. When I held my daughter for the first time, I heard a voice that says, you can never let her see you like this. And I thought somebody was behind me, and then I heard it again, and I knew that that wasn't somebody, that was God talking to me. It was 7 o'clock in the morning.
And when she was born?
When she was born, and I'm up there.
Wow.
Like, up there. And as soon as I held her and she opened her eyes, that's when I heard that voice. And I turn around, I hear the voice again as I'm turning around, and I was like, yeah, this isn't, I'm like, whoa. And I knew it was God talking to me. So my daughter still to this day have not seen me in any, under the influence, any type of way at all. Then a good, very close friend of mine ends up passing away. I end up losing my wife. Now I'm at a spiral, and this spiral is out of control to where I'm not even able to control it.
You said you started with cocaine. What kind of things did you experience as you started going down that path?
You start burning bridges. You start devaluing yourself, because you put yourself not at ground level, but sometimes below the dirt. Just to survive. And it's just like, God didn't want us to go through that. He never wanted us to suffer. I just didn't think I was worthy enough. It makes you want to still stick with the drugs. It still makes you want to get high and forget about it. That was my problem. I didn't like accepting that I was the cause of my issues, so I just reverted to just, all right, so I'll just get high.
Yeah.
It's easier just to get high and forget about it. It's easier just to take a pill and nod out. Now, if I wake up and it starts yapping again, I'll just do it again until it numbs out. And eventually it runs out, and then you're really, really by yourself, and you don't even recognize yourself when you look in the mirror, and basically became somebody I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then that's when it was like 12:30 in the morning, around there, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just staring at the wall, contemplating. I'm like, am I gonna do it right now, or am I gonna wait another minute? And I heard, hey, like, just, I gave you another opportunity, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? Because I'm still up, I'm like, wait, am I hallucinating? And then it was like, no, it was that same voice that I heard 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, it gave me like chills and I was like, you took everything. That's what I kept saying, you took everything. But he's like, no, you did. Like, I took everything from myself because I didn't hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
So it's not God's fault that you had to go through the mud. It's your fault.
Yeah.
I always fought with my parents before I understood and before I literally gave my life to Jesus. It was more because I was still fighting my addiction. I was still in and out of it. They would treat me a certain way, and I was like, why do you hate me so much? You treat everybody else, you put them on a pedestal, but I didn't realize that I was causing that harm. You know, my parents had to teach me tough love and show me tough love and tell me like, hey, we're not leaving you, but we're not gonna sit here and sugarcoat stuff and sit there and be like, you know, it's like, no, you made the bed, now you sleep in it.
Yeah.
Until you decide to get out of it, you get out of it, but we'll be here. We'll be here from a distance.
Yeah.
It all made sense later on. I'm like, man, this whole time I'm thinking they're just trying to tell me what to do, how to run my life and this and this and that. But this whole time my mom is fighting demons, my sisters, everybody's fighting the demons that are holding me and keeping me from them and stuff. And until later on, I'm like, wow, the power of prayer is amazing.
Yeah.
What a few words can do.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes is a few words. That second time being in the well made me open up a little bit more about how valuable time is and how impactful you are to people. Because at times you don't think you are. At times you just think you're a burden. You're just a waste of breath or a waste of space. And God spoke to me again. I just knew that I couldn't just bypass it. I had to at least try. Even if it took me the rest of my life to try to be the best Christian I can be. If you hear a voice, 9 out of 10, it's not your hallucination. It's actually him talking to you, letting you know he's here. He's always here.
Yeah.
And your questions, answers may not be answered quickly, but just know he still listened to what you asked for. I asked for a better life 7 years ago. I said, God, just give me a better life. Just let me not hurt anymore. And I don't hurt no more. I have a good life. I can honestly say it. I have a really good life. I got a small group of friends that are very supportive and are awesome. I got a great community behind me, and I got people that believe in me, and that's truly my biggest motivation is just knowing that people rely on me.
Yeah.
I didn't have that before. It was just more like wasted breath, wasted space. Like, why am I here? Like, let me just do everybody a favor, you know? Because I've been told that before. People being angry and saying hurtful stuff. It's like, why are you still here? Why don't you just, it's easier for you to be gone. You know, I've heard that a lot. It's easier for you just to be gone. Just do us all a favor. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And God's like, no, you're not. Because I'm not done with you. I got plans for you. There's more that I gotta do with you than you know.
Yeah.
And if you wanna know more about him, just ask. I'm telling you. Ask and you shall receive. Like it's no joke when they say that. You ask and you shall receive. If you really want to know about Jesus, all you have to do is open your heart and clean out your ears and just learn the power of mute. Just soak in the information and everything will make sense sooner or later. As a man, you got to swallow your pride and let God do his thing. And that's one thing that men battle with. It's letting their pride go, putting it to the side and being like, you know what, you take over, God. I'll just sit in the back seat, let you drive, you know?
Yeah.
My 6-year-old, when she got baptized, man, it was a very wholesome day because I was so unexpected and I felt so bad.
I was there.
Because I didn't have no extra clothes. She's just like, Daddy, I want to get baptized. I want to learn more about Jesus and I want to grow with Jesus. And I was like, how can I tell her no? I'm like, you go in there. We'll worry about the car later. You know? We'll figure it out. Just if that's what you want to do, go for it. And that was so, because I tried to show that example to her, like, you know, because it's hard being in a divided house. So I tried to do my best to lead by example and to show her that, you know, God runs this house and God runs everything. And, you know, God runs mommy's house too. And you got to leave everything up to him because he works everything out. And there was this time I was sitting there stressing. I was like, man, what am I going to do? She's like, it's okay, Daddy. God got this. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. God showed me and told me that everything was gonna be okay. You don't have to worry about nobody judging you. And that exactly happened the way that he said it. I didn't feel judged. I felt welcome. I can't ask for a better group of people, honestly.
Yeah.
That just encourage people to do better and are here with open arms and not judgmental, selfless, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what we need in life. We need a lot of selfless people that want to help without bragging or want to help without expecting something or, you know, be like, oh, well, you know, I helped you this week and, you know, it's just more or less like my brother, my sister needs her help, you know, I'm going to help.
Yeah, it's not like keeping track of it. Yeah. And just people who are truly wanting to live more like Jesus and growing, like you said, and getting better every day and just being stronger and living selflessly. Because when we're focused on drugs or just life before your children, you're just focused on keeping yourself alive and getting yourself high because that's all that matters in that time.
You have to start removing the negative vines out of your life, the ones that are just slowly creeping up and grabbing onto your ankle. Be like, you know what, I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit. Don't mind me, I'm all the way at the bottom, and the next thing you know, they're right here, and you're like, whoa. God is like your journal. When you're speaking to him every day, you're telling him your life, even though he sees your life. He knows what you're going through. He's sitting there and be like, oh, Jordan stubbed her pinky toe today. I hope she's all right, you know? You could be telling him, oh, God, this hurts, you know? It's like, yeah, I know, I saw it, you know?
Yeah, but he still wants you to tell him and talk to him.
Exactly.
Because it's a relationship.
Molds you to be a good person, or molds you just to be a better version of yourself. You know, you're like an onion, you know? Every layer you peel back is new, but it could be, may have one that's rough around the edges, but then the next one is like, oh, I'm back to being, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that as long as you walk with him and you stay consistent, you will see dramatic changes for the better. Like you'll know that you'll wake up more relieved, less stress. Your breathing changes from like to, oh, okay, you know, that's a good day.
Deep breath. Yeah.
Feel lighter on your feet. You don't feel like you're carrying everything. And
his burden is light. And when you're peeling back those layers of the onion, you might cry a little bit.
But it's a happy joy because of the progress and the progression that you've seen. As you're peeling back, you're like, wow, never thought I could be like this. Oh my God, this is amazing, you know?
Yes, and receiving, like you said, with the feeling worthy and receiving all the love and blessings.
Those are happy tears because you're allowing the word to come in and just plant itself inside you. And you're just like, okay, I'm the plant now I'm a blossom into this beautiful, you know, phoenix or whatever you want to claim. I feel like that's a good symbolization to being baptized.
Yeah.
You know, you're rising phoenix because you're washing all your sins and you're you're reborn again, and everything is butters.
Yeah.
Butters and cookies.
Well, thank you so much for
been a
sharing
pleasure.
all of that.
No, thank you for having me, honestly.
Yes.
Feels good to get it off your chest. And being able to share with all of you guys, strangers and all, family and all. Because I'm sure my family's gonna see this, which is great, because then they get to see that, you know, they've been a very big part of my recovery and big part of my journey and wanting to know and be closer to God. So
definitely.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Connection Church too.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Manny was on my front porch and we were talking, and I was telling him about this show, and the frog landed on my face like this. And his two hands were up here and his 2 feet were right there. He landed like that. And I freaked out and I ripped him off my face and I threw him, and Manny was looking at me like, he was like scared at first, but then we started laughing. We just started like cracking up. I'm coming up to a light and I look ahead. A sun is that way. The sunset's back there, but that thing that's glowing is where I'm going to play some songs at this very small church. And I'm on my bike, I'm riding, the frog hits me in the arm and it slid and bounced down. The frog left a black grease mark on my arm. A crow threw a frog at me and I'm like, what just happened? And so I smell the And it's like the worst. He shows you things like that you can actually see. So when people say, oh, well, just faith in something I can't see, that might be true at first, you just a little bit, but then you don't have to have faith in the unseen because you see it
Right.
all around you, and he speaks to you in a very specific way, just like you said.